beautiful Lake Vermilion. It's kind of our Logan and I's second home here in the summer when he's not down in warm Florida right now. If you notice, he's a Florida boy, so he's literally has his Blackfish soft shell stuff on. He's got some long underwear on. He's probably got wool socks on for all I know. But,
they're extra thick ones.
He was complaining about how cold it was this morning. And notice I've got flip-flop shorts and a sweatshirt on this morning. But we're on Lake Vermilion. It's the middle of July. We've got a pretty big bug hatch that's been going on for about a week and a half now. And so with that being said, that can oftentimes scare people off. So we're gonna go out today, and what are we gonna do today, Logan?
Absolutely a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you know, this is the time of year where, you know, if you're fishing during a bug hatch, or on this instance, it's just kind of getting done, that can, like I said, scares a lot of people off. And so you can look at things from a slow, methodical bite, like maybe a slip bobber and a leech, or a Lindy rig and a crawler or a leech. You can reaction bites like jigging wraps and snap jigs and I mean whatever. So we're gonna probably try as much as we possibly can today to try to show you that you can catch walleyes tons of different ways, hopefully, fingers crossed. And but more importantly, what's the other probably most important key to catching fish, Logan?
Finding fish.
Finding fish.
That's definitely it.
Yeah, you know, and so Lake Vermilion, just a quick little, Lake Vermilion is obviously probably one of the most beautiful lakes in Minnesota. If you've never been here, people ask me all the time, they're like, you know, what's so special about Lake Vermilion? And Logan, last summer you learned it's a pretty special place.
It is, it's awesome. There's not much like it in Minnesota here.
You know, but a lot of people, like Logan and I take a lot of people out fishing every year that are, you know, from resorts, and they'll go 3 days without catching a single walleye. And a lot of that is just because they haven't quite figured out how to find those fish. So we're gonna try to teach you and educate you a little bit today on how to find fish on Lake Vermilion. And then part 2 is catching them and netting them.
Sounds good.
All right, let's rock and roll. Go, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Keep going.
Guiding, while to some people on the outside it might seem like a glamorous thing, it's a lot of work.
But every time somebody steps into my boat for a guide trip, it's their trip. This is their trip. And
spending the day on the water with people, it's really a dream come true.
It's just truly special experience. Setting the hook, netting the fish, high-fiving people, and that's truly the passion.
What drives me is fishing different species and making memories with people. It's a phenomenal thing.
And that's what keeps me coming back. That's what fuels my fire for guiding.
Every day is something new, and seeing the smiles on people's faces when they catch that personal best makes it all worthwhile.
And I love watching kids get addicted to fishing.
We are a family. Between all of us, we spend countless hours on the water. And at the end of the day, it's about making sure that the people that were in your boat learned something and enjoyed that experience and made some memories along the way.
Get him. There you go.
Oh boy.
Nice one. There. Beautiful fish.
31 inches, baby!
Right for one.
Holy, watch them eat on there too. Oh, shit.
On top of this fish, like we said. On. Perfect.
Worked hard for this one.
Sweet. What a beautiful, looks like musky, those spots.
Oh, got it. That's a big fish.
For the release.
The Guide Life with Leisure Outdoor Adventures is brought to you by these great partners.
But I guess the last couple days, I mean, it's even.
Yeah, you were
like,
kind of up in
this
here
out
the other day.
It's been really good. There's a good mark there.
There we go. Feels kind of keeper-ish. Just one of those Oh yeah, right in the snout. Yeah. I'll maybe attempt to grab him. He's just angry. Oh, gotta be careful with these things. Last thing you want to do is go to the clinic in Virginia because I got a jig wrap in my hand. Not a giant, but about a 14-incher here. Beautiful Lake Vermilion. We got to the first spot here. We're just kind of, we end up dropping the spot. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one back. And got to the first spot. It's kind of a long bar, sand flat type area with some gravel, and use the side scan. So that's a big thing. Like, if you have the technology, whether it's 2D, down scan, side scan, we got the active target rolling in the back. We saw a few fish running around on the side scan, put the active target down, started shining around, and then we're actually putting casts where those fish are. So that's a big thing. So, you know, this time of year, you gotta think just transitions, right? The fish in the spring are gonna be up shallow. Now with the bug hatch, they're gonna be moving out a little bit deeper where there's areas where there's mud nearby, deep water nearby, so they can dump in and out during certain times of year. So it's early in the morning. These fish are up on this flat. They're feeding. So it's just a great piece of advice. Mornings, evenings, Lake Vermilion, flats. Get up on there. They're gonna come up. That's where the bait's gonna be. That's where the walleyes are gonna be. We're gonna jig wrap them here. We're gonna throw whatever at them. When the bite slows down, we're gonna have to switch things up. So let's keep at it. Let's see what we can do. This is what you call competitive jig wrapping right here. Thank you. Should make you jig wrap with your left arm, Logan. You're too good at this.
I save myself for days like today, other than yesterday.
When Logan has his first kid someday, his first name is going to be Jig, middle name's going to be Wrap.
Oh, those are my two dog names.
Jig Wrap,
Jig
Waidelich. Jig.
Get over here!
Logs?
I might be snagged on something actually. I got something that's probably a rock, I would say. Oh no, it is a.
It's on the end of that thing.
We got a wind drift sock here.
A drift sock.
Now this is what we're best at.
What's the slot limit on those, Logan?
I think 35 to the fork.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, you can lip that sucker.
We might put our fish in here at the end of today. Man, if you lost a Lindy Reagan drift sock out here on Lake Vermilion, contact LOA, we'll get you back.
There's a little pile of boulders to the left.
That's what we like. That is what I've got a lot of little waypoint spots on.
That blue dot's right on it. Get whapped?
Yeah.
He's back. Keeper?
Yeah.
Netter?
Yeah.
I mean, net it?
No, I think it's just like a bolt flipper. That's an important thing. I don't know if we got that exactly on film, but if you miss a fish, keep on going in your same rhythm because they come back for it. Uh-oh, we've got live scope issues.
Uh-oh.
Don't
What'd
go
you
in.
catch there, Logan?
Oh,
Oh, got it off.
beauty. 17-incher maybe? I don't know. Bringing home a couple of them.
Yeah, we'll bring home a couple for Din Din.
Alrighty, that was on a number 9 perch jigging wrap. That's one thing you can kind of mess with. If you're in 20 feet or less, you can go number 7 or number 9. Sometimes you could do like a number 5, but those are a little light for me. But number 9, I think just because of the profile, a little bit bigger, seems to work pretty well out here.
Stop into Ray's Sport and Marine today to check out our remaining 2022 in-stock inventory or place your 2023 order with guaranteed price lock until September 1st. After September 1st, prices are subject to change, so now is the time to reserve your new boat. From tillers to side consoles and full windshield models, we sell them all. Our sales and service team is here to help you get on the water. Ray Sport and Marine, 896 Northeast 1st Street, Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
Okay, we're gonna go over just a couple things here when you are starting out jig wrapping, or if you already are doing it and having a little bit of a hard time with it. I'll try to help out best I can as to my knowledge so far. High-vis line, I put yellow on here. This is Suffix. You can use Power Pro, it doesn't really matter what brand you're using. Just 15 pounds seems to be about right. I'll use 10 pound or 8 pound sometimes, but then you get snagged and your knot starts to break from line to line or at your swivel if you're using a swivel. I choose not to use a swivel just because I like a little bit longer leader lines, and I don't like it to be cranked in through all the guides on my rods, especially with clients. Sometimes they're a little bit too zippy with it. I don't use a snap swivel either. I like to tie right to the jig. I use a 2500 to a 3000 size spinning reel on this. With somewhere around a 7-foot rod, you want kind of a, I would say a medium action, medium light. Gets to be a little bit soft at the tip of it, especially ripping these number 9s around like this. That can be a little bit too much weight for the end of the rod if it's a medium light, but medium fast, extra fast is really good too. I use a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader. I've played around with 10 and 12, and you'll start losing fish on hook sets if they're bigger fish, or mainly if you get a little bit snagged between rocks or something like that. You break off a little bit too easy where you probably could have saved your jig wrap if you had a 15-pound line. So when you go to cast these, I always tell people underhand, you know, you can pitch it like a bass jig, but they're kind of dangerous to hang on to. So I kind of get it swinging and just a small pitch out underhand, and that seems to help a lot with minimalizing the twist of that jig wrap through the air. It doesn't do so much helicopter spinning as if you do an overhand cast. Another important thing is short casts. You don't need to cast as far as you can. This isn't a bait that you need to get out there far. Most of the times we're fishing for walleyes that we can see on the screens, and we're only reading out 60 to 80 feet, 100 at the most. But shorter casts where you're 60 feet from the boat. What I like to do, the first drop, if I know that I'm casting on a bunch of fish, I'll do a short flip out, roughly guess how much line I need, and then close my bail. I'm gonna follow that down to the bottom with tension. Right when it hits the bottom, I snap up. That's really important. I see a lot of guys out there that they'll just throw the jigging wrap and free spool it all the way down to the bottom, and you miss so many fish doing that because they'll hit it that first drop before it even grabs a hold of the bottom. There'll be a walleye on there, so then their first rip, they've got one, but little did they know it's probably had it for a little bit. Having tension on the jig wrap as it's falling is really important as well. That same concept. It's you can feel them bite it. They hit it on the way down. Like in my studies, they hit it on the fall probably 80% of the time. You'll feel a little bump. It might run across one's back if it's in a big school, but a lot of times they're eating that thing on the way down. And if you have a little bit of tension, it doesn't drop straight down. It does a little bit longer of a glide and gives them a second to catch up to it if they're chasing. Short, hard rips up, not big, long pulls. You don't want to rip that thing up out of their sight and have them lose track of it. Especially here on Vermilion, we've got a little bit stained water, so 4 or 5 foot visibility maybe. You want to be ripping pretty hard and stout and following it on the way down so you've got tension. A great way to start is right below the boat and then start casting, because you're going to have to crank it in as you're bringing the bait closer to the boat. You're going to have to reel at the same time. It's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your belly at the same time. For some people it's a little bit tricky to get used to, so we just start right below the boat with straight up and straight down. Notice how my line is like dead straight unless it hits the bottom. So then I know exactly when it hits the bottom. This high vis yellow line and a bright colored rod really sticks out when you're in this stained water. If you're in wind, I get clients who are a little bit older, it might be tough to see, so this yellow line is super good for that. As to where I'm at so far with jig wrap fishing, that's kind of the best to my knowledge. Make sure you set the hook pretty good on them, keep good pressure. Don't take too long to play the fish because they get those head shakes rolling and that heavy number 9 will wiggle its way out of there. So yeah, good luck with the jig wrap fishing. Get after it.
So move spots, we were seeing fish, and on that first spot, and they were moving around like it was a NASCAR race on the bottom. So it was hard to keep up with them. So it's kind of a bright sunny day, and obviously Vermilion's got a ton of rocks in it, being it's a Canadian Shield lake. And so we have actually moved to a weed line, and we are now we're just kind of gonna fan cast along this cabbage. And cabbage serves as obviously a little bit of shade, but nice to be a little bit breeze today, so that helps. So you do get flat calm day, weeds are good. And also though, it congregates bait fish. And so the bait fish like to hide in the cabbage, which brings the walleyes and the other game fish in there. And so we're gonna work over this cabbage bed. If you're gonna work over a cabbage bed, I think Logan's got a jigging wrap on. I got a hair jig, kind of looks like a perch, mimic, match the hatch. Also a slip auburn leech is a really good tactic to work in and around the cabbage, because you can kind of flip it out there, hit the little cabbage pockets, because that's where you're gonna find the fish. So we're gonna give the cabbage a roll here. The key is you just gotta keep moving, sticking around. Vermilion's got a ton of structure, and eventually we're gonna figure this plan out today. All right, spot 3. We're sticking and moving this morning. So I think that's another big thing on Vermilion is, you just got to keep moving. And so we kind of started off on a flat. We went to a weed bed, saw a lot of fish, which kind of makes a good point of reference. Sometimes you got to let the water warm back up. So up in the northern Minnesota here, it gets pretty cool at night. So we're gonna let that spot warm up because we saw a lot of fish in that spot. So we'll go back there later, but what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work kind of just a break edge here. And the fish, there's a kind of mossy stuff here, then it kind of drops off, rock and stuff. So that's the other big thing of Vermilion, transitions, whether it's sand to weed, sand to gravel, rock to mud, those kinds of things. Try to focus if you can find those, and they're super easy and they show up like a Christmas tree on your graph. So we're gonna work this break edge, we're just gonna fan cast along it, we'll see what we can do.
Look at him just dancing with this thing. Hooked up.
There we go.
That's a real nice one.
See a net?
Yeah, he'd be a good one on film here. He's a 20-incher probably.
All right.
You
got him?
He just got smaller.
The old clam net on him.
Nice.
Good job, Logs.
17, 18. If you want to, there's a bunch more sitting basically straight below the boat here. See if you can double up with me here. One important thing with jigging wraps, when you're getting fish out of the net, is the most common time that you're going to get a hook in your hand, because front hook, back hook, treble hook, if that fish flops and you pull away, that's how it got me last year. I tried to pull away and the back hook was in the net and I pulled this front one right into my finger. So when these guys are down here freaking out like that, you better watch it.
Fumble.
Fumble, yeah, but pretty fish. There's plenty more where this one came from, so we're gonna get back to it. But again, that was a number 9 jigging wrap, perch color, We're just using side scan and live sight to our advantage here and finding some awesome schools of fish. They're responding pretty well. Bring home a few for dinner, don't need to go overboard, but yeah, we're putting a day together here. See if we can get a bigger one here in just a little bit. Just following it. So crazy watching this happen live. You can see all the perch down there, but this is a good thing to talk about. So I can see these fish following the jig wrap all the way back to the boat, basically. So that jigging wrap, when you cast it out and you're working it towards the boat, for the most part, it's going to be coming straight at you the whole time. You jig it up and it's going to glide towards the boat where you're pulling it in from. And when it gets back to the boat, I always give it 5, 6, 10 rips right by the boat, because it starts changing direction. All of a sudden it goes back behind them, it goes under the boat, it goes towards the front of the boat. Whereas when you're out there, every time it's coming straight back at you. So sometimes it'll trigger them to bite it. They've been following it the whole time in, but then it triggers them because all of a sudden, whoa, it just went behind them, it went in front of them, to the side, all over the place. So they think that bait's getting away from them and they gotta go grab it.
There we go. Oh, hooked up.
Tanker?
That's a good one.
You want the net?
Yeah, we want the clam on this one.
Let's get the clam.
So that's what you call tag team effort right there.
That is what you call cheating. Oh man.
He's angry.
You could have done that blindfolded.
Yeah.
Okay, they're coming up.
Oh, that's a nice one.
That's a beautiful fish there.
Hey, Logs.
I'm ready. We got rods laying all over the place.
Kind of look like a bass boat around here. I don't think I should show them that secret we have on the tight on there though, Logan.
That's a secret little tip for you. Go to your local bait stores, tackle stores, and ask them to dig out their winter selection of ice fishing jigs, moon glows, demon jigs, all that kind of stuff, so it keeps your leech down. They won't swim up and tangle your line.
It's a good looking one.
Beauty.
Right there. She's even perking up for the camera. So, let me kind of give you a quick little rundown where that's probably what, I don't know what, 22, 3 maybe? Put that one back. So we've been trying to get the reaction bite. We're fishing this break line here, and what we noticed is the fish were not really on the break as much as they were up on the moss. This stuff right here. Fish, you know, last time I checked, fish weren't vegetarians. But when you're fishing that moss, you can't throw a jigging Wrap very well because, as you just saw, it gets full of weeds, moss. Lindy rigs, you're dragging a weight through there. I mean, you can try, but usually your weight, and then what happens is your swivel gets full of it, and then pretty soon you get line twists, and you're all messed up. So what do? Fish above the moss, slip bobbers. What we did was we drove around, we were seeing these fish, we marked them. Logan said, hey, there's one right off in front of the trolling motor. Do the bobber out there, let the leech soak, bobber down, hook set, fish in the net, just like that. Got him? Yeah. Netter?
I don't know what we got yet. Wow, that was a far cast. Here she comes.
Coming up. Got him?
Yeah, it's just an eater size fish. 17, 18.
On a bomb cast there, Logan.
Yeah, that was crazy. Come here, bud. Stay in here. See ya.
You tell Logan never played football or basketball or any sport that involved the ball because he drops everything.
Because I've been fishing too much, getting hooks in my fingers, so I know to just let them go. Well, there he is.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Sweet. Do it again. These fish are really deep and they are moving fast. Not a whole ton of them, but like I was saying earlier, we moved a little bit deeper. Found some clean bottom. Found a few fish scattered, so we're able to hit them with the jigging wraps, kind of pinpoint them with the live scope there, and hopefully we can capitalize on one or two more here.
Developed from the latest technology, Blackfish technical apparel outperforms, so anglers have gear that they can trust in, no matter the conditions.
Yeah, this is what's down there right now. This one got snagged. Ooh, gosh, I about ripped this one in half, the old jigging wrap. We are in the, we're gonna call this spot we moved. We're gonna call this spot the nursery because it's full of babies. We'll sing that one a lullaby and let it go back.
Gonna need waxworms pretty soon. Not a bad eater size fish.
Yeah.
Hooked on the back hook.
14-incher or so. Little buggers have been kind of tough to catch today, Logan.
Oh, just lost one. Yeah, it has not been easy. The later it gets, the harder it gets.
Yep.
It's all about sunset time.
So yeah, about a 14-incher. Vermilion's got a lot of these in here. So we moved spots here again. Where one of the things that Vermilion has a lot of is islands, and so there's a lot of current areas where areas bottleneck down or pinch down, you might say, or what, kind of an hourglass, and so that creates a lot of current, pushes a lot of bait through there, especially when there's wind. So we're kind of fishing in one of those areas right now. And we just keep, whether it's bobbers, jigging wraps, we've tried jigs, leeches, fish are just constantly moving around. So if they move, we got to move. So it's kind of been the name of the game. We stick, we move, we catch one or two, we stick, we move, we catch one or two. And then, especially this time of day, you just got to keep moving. So it's, about noon or so, and just going to keep doing what we got to do, catch fish. We're lucky to have a lot of sponsors for our Guide Life project every year, and one of them that's been with us from the get-go, and a sponsor we've all, for the most part on our guide team, work with is Ray Sport and Marine. They've got multiple dealers throughout the northern half of Minnesota. They are one of the largest Lund dealers in the country. And our pro staff, we've got guys on our team that are on the Ray's pro staff, guys who run Lunds, obviously. We run all different kinds of models of Lunds. This is a Pro V. Love this boat. I've ran this boat three times actually. I ran the 1975, I ran the 2075. Great models. They are true fishing machines. They're great in big water. A boat like this, I'm able to go forward and backwards because of the IPS hull. Then the way I have it set up is it's friendly for customers, and I'm able to obviously rig really well. I can jig, I can cast. It's a great multi-species boat and platform. The storage is unbelievable. As a fishing guide, and part of the guide life is you got to literally have everything ready to go. If you looked around our boat today, we've got all kinds of presentations, and I can grab stuff out of my rod locker. I got places where everything's tucked away, so at the end of the day, it looks clean and everything. And so we want to give a big shout out to Ray's Sport and Marine as one of our guide life sponsors. They are awesome. Dave Hernisman, the whole crew there, Mikey Love up in Bemidji. We love you guys, and you guys take great care of us, and we really appreciate the support that you give us with guide life. You can't be a fishing guide without a great boat, and Ray's helps us get a great boat, and obviously the Mercury engine's on the water and helps get our customers around where we need to go to find fish. So thank you.
All right, we've got, what do we think, a large walleye hook?
I think it's a decent one.
Yeah.
One of those Lake Vermilion bulldogs.
And jigs. We are in the thickest bait we've seen all day on the graph, and I was just complaining that they shouldn't eat any of our stuff because they have a whole buffet down there, but Freed just tricked one into eating the old jig and wrap. Big dog.
Wobbly knees.
Oh. You got any color yet?
Not yet.
This is exciting net, man. Oh, when they pull drag like that out here, they're big.
Coming up a little bit. There you go. Coming up.
You got color. Whoa.
And just came off.
Heck yeah. Here, let's get her down here. Hold on. Come here, bud. Look at how fat that thing is.
It's been gorging on mayflies. Well, there you go, folks.
Oh.
Look at that. Not super long, but fat. And that is what Lake Vermilion can be all about, guys. Well, that one's gone. It's been a great day.
Gotta put the jig wraps away now.
You know, we've had to work pretty hard today. A lot harder than I think we'd like to work, but you know, Lake Vermilion it's a special place, and whether you want to come up and walleye fish, bass fish, pike fish, muskie fish, panfish, crappies, really it's got everything. It's
Heck,
just,
we even caught tulipies.
We have done that, yeah, haven't we? But you know, it's one of those places where you can really, I would say, pick and choose the time of year that fits you as the fisherman. So, you know, if you want to come up and Lindy rig for walleyes or jig for walleyes, that May into June. But then if you get into Logan's favorite time of year, late August and September, it's all about what?
Jig and minnow or jig and wrap. It's just shallow water feeding frenzy.
Yeah, pretty epic. But, you know, like I said, in what we've learned in 2 years of guiding out here is that, you know, it can be a pretty diverse lake, and it's got a ton of rocks, and everybody thinks they got to go fish rocks, right? And that can be pretty frustrating with snags and losing gear and all kind of stuff. And what we've found, and one piece of advice you come to Lake Vermilion, is find the sand, find the gravel, find those edges, those rock sand edges, and even the weeds. There's a lot of walleyes in the weeds around here too, and you can have a lot of success. But it's, I think you've learned Lake Vermilion's a pretty special place.
It is very special.
Yeah.
I love the scenery. The fishing's awesome, but even when fishing slows down, you just gotta look around once in a while and appreciate where you're at. This place is beautiful.
Yeah, so when people ask me, well, what's so special about it? I said, you just gotta come up here. It's plain and simple. Yeah. Once you come up here, you'll be hooked.
Oh yeah.
So thanks for tuning in. We had a lot of fun this episode, and be sure to subscribe to the Guide Life, and there'll be more episodes coming out, but Logan and I are out. We might try to go catch a few more, but nice job, Logan.
Dude, thank you.
Leisure Outdoor Adventures would like to thank all their sponsors for their support in making the Guide Life happen.